agenda. Good morning, madam.
Good morning. We'll start in 5 minutes, okay?
Okay.
Good afternoon, everybody. Sorry, madam will be joining in 2 minutes. I would like to tell you. Okay. I would like to tell you, sorry, ma'am, I'm just taking your 2 minutes. There's an instruction which I want to give. Let me tell you, franchisees and students, if you let me make it very, very clear, if you people don't give assignments and if you people don't listen to the experts, you're out of the race. You will not be considered for the star of the month. If all the 4 experts have to be kept okay, and they can be only kept okay if you do their assignments. So I have already requested the experts. They have already given the assignments. If any franchisee and students are not going to be a part of it, you're out of the expert. You're not a part of the evaluation. There is a mail which is going to come to you shortly on this from head office, because I'm being told by all the experts that everybody is not giving the assignments. You have no right not to listen to the experts. And even L2. Even L2 are supposed to give assignments. They are all being evaluated this time. So kindly don't create any problem in the evaluation. Be a part of the race. Still you have 11 days. Please finish off all the assignments given by the experts. Thank you very much. Thanks, ma'am. I'm very sorry I barged in. Thank you very much.
Okay, good morning to all of you. We have certain teams left for evaluation. 3-4 teams have already done. Are they ready?
Hello, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Ma'am, VS Shopper is ready to present, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, you can go ahead.
Hello, ma'am. Good morning.
Good morning.
Madam, my name is Karpsappa. My father name is Revanshika. I am from Shapur, VVS Institute in Shapur. Today I will explain about EC2 instance.
Okay.
We will share my screen. Next, EC2. Click on EC2. To launch the instance, we need to use a web server unique name.
Okay.
Instance 1. We will operating the system Amazon Linux AWS.
Okay.
Next, we need to create a new key pair. Now I am entering the new key pair name.
Okay.
Instance 1. Now I am .ppk for user putty software. Next we'll continue the create key pair. Allow the HTTP traffic from the internet. Next, then allow HTTP traffic from internet. Mm. Then we'll give the launch instance. Successfully launching of instance. We click on next we'll click on instance ID. No, I am IPv4 public IPv4 address copied. Next, I am going to put the software. Next, I will copy it. I will paste the IPv4 address.
Okay.
Next, connections SSH auth credentials.
Okay.
Next, I'm going to open. Next is accept. No, I am login as EC2 user.
Okay.
Next, copy this IPv4 address. Additionals. Open the browse. We will select instance 1 using the key pair name.
Okay.
Next, open. Next, will open. Now I am using the EC2 user. Next, Windows is the we need to use the root directory.
Okay.
Yum update space -y. We need to for updating service.
Okay.
Next, yum install httpd -y. We need to install the new Apache server. Installing Apache server.
Okay.
Next, cd space -var -www/html. For under the root directory
Okay.
HTML.
Okay.
Next, I will enter nano index.html. Now I am HTML code. HTML body. Next, Good morning. Everyone. Enter. Next, we will close body. Next, close HTML. Next, we will Control X. This save Y. Next, enter. Service HTTPD start. Yes. For starting service. Next, I will minimize this one. Next, I will copy the public IPv4 address. Now I am in new web browse. And this one paste. Next, we'll enter. Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
First was a website EC2 instance. Thank you. Next, we'll continue by my friend Chaitra.
Okay.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
My name is Chaitra. I am from VVS Shapur. I completed BTech in Civil Engineering.
Okay.
Today, I am going to explaining about load balancer in EC2 instance.
Okay.
So, first, we need to create a target group. Target group means it contains one or more target registered targets. So first we need to create a target group. Click on create target group. Then here basic configuration, we need to choose target type as instances. After this, we need to give a target group name. So here the protocol is HTTP and port number is 80.
Okay.
VPC, it is already selected. This is a default VPC, so no need to select. Here protocol version is HTTP1. In health checks, we need to give the name as index.html. Next, click on the next. Here, I am using 3 instances for creating load balancer. You should select all of this. Then the port instance port number is 80. Include click on include as pending below. Here those 3 instances were came here. So now click on create target group. So successfully we created target group name. Then we will move on to the load balancer.
Okay.
Load balancer means it distribute network traffic across the multiple targets and one or more availability zones. First, we need to create a load balancer. Here, there are three types of load balancer: application load balancer, network load balancer, gateway load balancer. For hosting a website, static website, we choose the application load balancer. Click on create. Here in basic configuration, we need to give load balancer name.
Okay.
Here in scheme, internet facing, it's already selected, so no need to change. IP address type is IPv4.
Okay, well done.
In network mapping, we are using a default VPC, or else we can use create new VPC. In mapping, we need to select all of the subnets. After selecting the subnets, we need to select security group. We can select up to 5 security groups. Here it's already default one is there. So I am going to select another one, launch wizard. In listeners and routing, we need to select a target group which I have already created name. So I will select this. Add-on services are optional. This is also optional. So here the summary, it will show what we have selected in the above application load balancer. It will show in the summary. So now we will create a load balancer. After creating the application load balancer, we load balancer. Here, our load balancer state is still in provisioning. So we need to wait for 5 minutes. After it will become as activate. So I will keep on refreshing it. After the application load balancer become activate state, we need to copy the DNS name.
Okay.
So now it become active. So I'm already copied the DNS name. I will put it in the browser. Paste. Enter. So now I'm successfully hosted the website as a load balancer. Refresh it. After 5 seconds, another instance will load. So this is about load balancer in EC2 instance. So thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Very nice.
Thank you, ma'am.
Any other team?
No, ma'am.
Any other team is there? Like I think KTC Hubli.
Good morning, ma'am.
Morning.
I'm Vinia from KTC Hubli. Now I'm going to present on AWS load balancer, ma'am.
Okay, fine.
An application load balancer is a load balancing service which is provided by Amazon Web Services that distributes incoming traffic across multiple targets. such as Amazon EC2 instance, containers, or IP addresses. ALPs, which is nothing but application load balancers, are designed to handle application level traffic and provide advanced routing features. Using ALPs are highly scalable and fault tolerant, providing high availability for our applications. They distribute traffic among multiple availability zones now and automatically roll around failed instances or availability on zones. ALPs are a powerful tool for managing traffic and ensuring the scalability, availability, and resilience of our applications which are running on AWS. I'm going to share the screen. For creation of load balance, it needs at least 2 instances to be created. Now we will launch instance. We should name the instance. We should give the name for the instance. Example here is. In that application like OS images, we should select Amazon Linux. And architecture will be the same. Instance type, we need to take T2.micro, which is free fire eligible. And key pair, we need to create new one. And its file format which is suitable for 40 is .ppk. Create key pair. And network settings, the security, it needs firewall security. We should select these 3. And storage, we should increase up to 30 GB3. Number of instance is 2. Then launch. These 2 are the instances which are created now. These 2 instances which are created before, I'm showing these on the websites. Address. The first instance, it is containing the content that it works. In this way, I have created these 2 instances. After that, to attach these 2 instances, we need to create target groups. This has 4 types of targets are there, target type. First one is instance, IP address, lambda function, application load balancer. Anyone we can use. I'm using instances. After that, we need to name the target group. Here, these things remain constant. The code API and protocol HTTP. Next, we need to register targets. I'm registering these 2 instances. Then include as pending below. Refresh once again. We need to create. Node. And next, selecting these 2 instances. Include as pending below. Then create target group. Doing this all things, we successfully created target group. Then next we need to load balance. We should create load balance, which is on the left side. Press on the load balancers. Then create load balancer. There are three types of load balancer, namely application load balancer, network load balancer, and gateway load balancer. Now we are using application load balancer. Create. Need to give load balancer name, which I am giving as B124 somewhat. Then this scheme is internet facing, then IP address type is IPv4. Then VPC is constant. Even we can use different VPC also if we have created. Need to select all these mappings. Then security group, even we can create or we can choose this default. After that, this is all the summary. Then click on create load balancer. We need to select the target group which we have created as keyword in the previous thing. After selecting this as target group, then need to create load balancer. Yeah, successfully we have created load balancer. Then view load balancer. This is the load balancer which we have created. It is still provisioning state. An Axis Bank has given $3.7 billion worth bundling activities outward to AWS, that is 3,000 crore, 30,000 crore INR in Indian rupees. This call contributes $4.5 billion to Indian GDP, that is 36,000 crore Indian rupees. They had established member region in 2015 and have created one more in Hyderabad now. I think this takes maybe 5 minutes. It needs more time. This thing what I have created, load balancer. Thank you, ma'am. My presentation is completed this month. Thank you.
Okay, so very nice. I had actually 4 teams presented. Vaishali Computer presented on 9th May. Hubli KTC presented on both 9th and 28th. They did all the tasks. SSC Haveri and VVS Shahpura. Is there all these are the teams only, ma'am? Harinakshi ma'am, or there are other teams also?
Hello, ma'am. Ma'am, this is Shweta.
Yeah, Shweta.
Ma'am, Infotech and other teams, they have made it, but the problem is they are in the college, ma'am. So we just need next week they'll present it. Ma'am. They've done the documents as well, so they're ready.
Am I supposed to give you the evaluation today or by once they have done every team has done?
Ma'am, I think if you can give us time till next week, they'll be presenting it.
No issues. I don't have any issues. Ultimately, the objective is that everybody should do it and learn it. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then we have done. I will start with my session.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I think. Okay.
Okay. So students, well done. All of you have done really well. I was really, I can appreciate the effort of all your trainers who are offline trainers for you. And they have done a fantastic job. I must also appreciate the effort taken by all the students, well presented, well understood. The main objective is that you understand the concept. Now, there might be a question in the mind of these students who have taken other courses like cybersecurity, AI and all that, why we should be doing this. And I have told you many number of time, again, I want to repeat this, that this is not an exercise which is meant only for the students who are doing cloud computing or AWS. This is also an exercise which helps the the other stream also to understand that what is the organization practices and how every IT and non-IT companies are using cloud computing. So you can't escape. You can't say I'm doing AI, so I will do only AI. You need to know the tools used in AI. If you're doing web development, so we had exercise of posting a static website using HTML on through AWS, EC2 instances. So you learn from that. So for every tool, you have AWS as one of the platform which is widely used by by the organization. Even if the organization is not using AWS, if they're using Microsoft Azure or any other IBM or any other cloud platform, the process will remain the same. So if you know AWS, you will be able to deal with other things. And now the related to something, one more thing which I want to do now, this will be the second exercise. The first exercise is done. I have only 2 assignment given to you. The first assignment almost 50% has done, or 60%. Other 2 teams can do. But for the teams, now this exercise, I will be seeing this exercise on most probably on 1st or 2nd June. Okay, so I'm very clear about this. I'm going to send you the entire exercise routine now to you. You have around 15 days and I won't change the date. So it will be most probably on 2nd June. Okay. And this is the exercise related to AI and the AI using Python and all. So this exercise is basically a project to develop the chatbots, okay, or bots. This is very important one because ultimately, and even for cybersecurity people, it's not necessary that I'm forcing all of you to do AI using chatbots, but most of you can do it. Like, for example, the students who have taken AI with Python and the students who have taken the cloud computing and the students who have taken the web development, also for them, it is necessary. Because when you are having a web development, when you're developing a website, not only the HTML, Java, or other scripts are essential for you to understand, but also it is essential that you know how to create chatbot and integrate the chatbot in the website. So the teams who have taken or the students who have taken chatbots, AI with Python, and the students who have taken the cloud computing or AWS, the students who have taken web development, these 3 teams should do it. Other teams want to do it, it's open to them. So the teams of cybersecurity and all, I will give other project. But the submission will be on the same. It will be on the 2nd June and the other week. The coming week after 2nd June will be the evaluation date for me on cybersecurity, and even for ERP also can take either cybersecurity or AI, because it's very easy to understand. Even those who have not taken can understand. So today I'm going to take a session and I'm going to talk about how to create chatbots using AI, and a little bit about AI and security. So the AWS or AI and security, that also session I will take. So I'm going to start with creating chatbots. Okay. And this exercise I'm going to send you people today through Harinakshi ma'am or Shweta ma'am. And you people can go ahead and just see the session. There are a lot of tutorials which are available on AWS if you want to use AWS Lex for creating this, or else if you want to use the Python to create, that is also okay for me. And also the kind of chatbots which you can create, I will give you the list. Like I will tell about it. So let me first start, okay? And then I will discuss about the assignment in details once I have started. Okay. So just give me a few seconds. Let me share. Okay. So students, we are going to today talk about the chatbots and the intelligent bots using AI. Today, if you see everywhere, we have a great opportunity, and as a project, if you have build or you must build as a what you can say, coder or non-coding also, if it is available. So it is very important that you know the importance of chatbots. What are the different kinds of chatbots? How do you create chatbots on different platforms? There are a lot of help, there are a lot of tutorial available. I will give you a little bit of guidance, whatever knowledge I have. And then this will be the assignment for the first week of June. Let's start. So let's understand what is a bot. So when we say bot is a software that runs scripts. That is means it will do certain kind of automated task online. So we all refer to something called web robots or internet bots. Might have seen in your mobile phone. So most of the bot perform both repetitive as well as the. So just give me a few seconds. I just have to do certain things and then I will come back to you. Just give me a few seconds. So I will just correct this PPT because there's something which is not properly animated. Just give me a few seconds. I'll come back to you. I'm just trying to correct my PPT. Okay, now it's done. So I'll share it again. Okay, fine. So I hope you all can see now. So let's start. So as I said that it is a automated or it's a script. So most of these bot, what basically a bot does? It does a repetitive and simple task. Automated task can be certain tasks which is repeated in nature. You can automate that with the help of the bot. So, and the advantage over human being is they can do that task better, accurately, and faster rate. Okay. So certain kinds of bots which are regularly used are basically called web crawlers, which are used by e-commerce company. These are the script that automatically retrieve, analyze the data online for the web servers. So the web crawlers are basically inserted by all kinds of websites, especially e-commerce company, on the browser so that they can collect all the data, browsing history of a particular customer and target the ads on them. So we often all sometime these kinds of a web browse like web spiders, I'm sorry. So 50% of the online traffic is basically extracted and analyzed by these web spiders. They're not harmful. So as I said, the bots can be both good or bad. What are the good ones? We refer to the useful bot as a good ones, which can include like search engine web crawlers, search engine like Google and all these companies. They have web crawlers which index the content for online user who carry out the searches. So if you're searching for something on Google, so they will create an index of those and help you further so that it narrow down and lessen the time of your search. Okay. Customer service bots are also one example of good bots, which are also very useful because they help the customers, the potential and the prospect customers to find out the problem of their solution, to answer their questions. Okay. So the companies basically create these ones to help the customers. You have shopping bots on the e-commerce sites. These shopping bots may help you, finding certain things which you're not able to find on the search engine of the e-commerce site. There are monitoring bots, which I said, web crawlers and all, who monitor the traffic and analyze it for and give it the review to the company. Like in the e-commerce company, also you have monitoring bots which will monitor the traffic, analyze that, which is the source of the traffic, from where the people are coming, what's the bounce back rate, all those kinds they do it. Then there is a set of bots which are bad bots. These are bots which are basically a software application or a program. These are being created to break into people's account. It can be a kind of a hacking robots also, you can say. So others search the web. So what they do is they search the web for certain kinds of information, and also they use certain time these information to send spam to you, like spam mails, spam SMS, or whatever, the WhatsApp messages. So spam or online mail which comes to you which is sent in the mass online to thousands and millions of individuals, where the receivers, when the receiver doesn't want it. So there are a lot of these kinds of spam mail which comes to your inbox. This can be a kind of, you can say, a bad bots. Then you have something called chatbots. Now, what is a chatbot? This is a good online software that chat with the people, as the name suggests. So we call them chatbots, we call them talkbots, we call them chatterbots, whatever name. Their main aim is to converse with people, or conversational AI also, you can say, if we are using AI in that. Okay. So if it is only meant for FAQ, frequently asked question, then it doesn't have to need to have that AI element into it. So there are algorithms which are that programmers have created to simulate a human person in the conversation. That means it's a virtual assistant software program like Apple Siri, Google Assistants, who have AI integrated into it, which can not only answer certain kinds of commonly asked questions, but also ask you certain vague questions, try to understand what do you mean, even ask you some kind of a very unwanted, or you can say vague questions, or funny or witty answers also it can give you. Then we have one more kind of a bot which is widely used, is video gaming bot. Those people who play a lot of games, they may know about it, that a software application which take the place of a player in the video game is called video bot. So you are playing, along with that you want somebody to play with you, so those are called video game bot. So these software will have AI, the artificial intelligence. So the technology, this software technology which make a smart device, a robot, think and behave like a human player, is called video bot. Then the next one, which is very common, with the picture I've deleted, it's called the social bots. Okay. And these social bots are basically meant in social media website. So there is a set of programmers who create these kinds of bots to give your website a visibility and drive engagement with the customers, with the account holders. So companies are using like Facebook or Instagram and all these, or maybe most of the time the social networking site. Apart from that, the main company sites, you will find these kinds of social bots, which basically try to converse with the people. So you finally go to a website and it pops up. So for the people who are doing website development, for them, this is necessary that in a web development, you need to create a social bots. Okay. And those who are interested in gaming, you need to know how to create a gaming bots. So for marketing campaign, these bots can certainly pop up and give you some kind of a discounts offers and talk about certain things. So like this, we have so many bots which are existing. Okay. So even for you also, you need to work. Now we need to understand the next thing, which is how does it work? Okay. So for this, we can define the chatbot into two categories. And these two categories are basically called rule-based approach or self-learning approach or retrieval-based model or maybe a generative model. But basically, if you see on the net, you find two categories of chatbots. One is rule-based, one is conversational AI. So rule-based approach, in this, the bots are trained according to the rules. Okay. Now, what are these rules? So based the simple queries like FAQ, technical robots, you can say that. Okay, so they are not, sometimes they fail to understand the complex query which is beyond the boundary. So mostly these rule-based approach are the one which have predefined questions and answers. And similar questions, like for example, if it is on the bank, there is a rule-based approach, chatbots are made. So what the bank, the person asks, oh, okay, how to open FD? Oh, I have certain fraudulent, transaction. How do I stop that? And how do I stop doing automated payment? All these questions, it will answer directly. But somebody asked that, okay, I'm very angry. Something is like this happened. I want to talk to your manager. Then very complex kind of situations or certain kind of a query, which is not defined so well. So will it be able to understand that or not? So that is where the rule-based chatbots may suffer. It may basically try to understand that question and match it with the certain questions which are similar in nature using a language modeling and try to understand and give. So those are rule-based chatbots. Self-learning approach, which is conversational AI, I was talking about. Conversational AI is of two types, self-learning and retrieval-based. Self-learning means it follows the machine learning approach. And again, in machine learning approach, if you say, it can be also a kind of retrieval-based model. That means like chat GPTs. And nowadays, if you see Prosperity.ai, Beautiful AI, so many kinds of AI model for, extracting information has come. So what has happened? Retrieval-based model does what? It goes to the content which is available, database which is available, extract all the information from those sources and present to you using a large language model, which I explained to you in one of the sessions. So these bots retrieve the information. Okay. So basically, conversational AI are of two types. Retrieval-based, they are self-learning, they have self-learning approach, not rule-based approach. So retrieval-based or generative-based model. Retrieval means whatever is available in the net from whatever sources, they extract that using machine learning or AI tools and present that to you, summarize it to you. Generative model is it generate the answer by extracting the information and concluding it by its own kind of analysis. So this model answer from searching the certain content available on that particular topic and add certain intelligence to it and then give. So now comes the chat GPT-4 and all those kinds of conversational chatbots are. These are also chatbots. So all these are the one which is happening. Now, how to make, my session this today is divided into two parts. The first part is how to make chatbot in Python, because you should know both. Because till now I am teaching you no code and all those kinds of platform. We don't require coding, but coding knowledge, I'm not saying it is not necessary, it is necessary. So at the same time, when you're a coder, you should know both. You should know how to create a particular application using coding or how to use no coding platform to create the same application. So the challenge or the assignment which I'm giving you students, which is a project, is the first one is that you have to create a chatbot in Python, those who are doing AI. Those who are doing cloud computing, one team can, those who are taking the AI can develop the coding in Python. And the second team can take up who are doing the cloud computing in AWS platform using Amazon Lex. Okay. And the other team who are doing the web development, they may use the platform like Wix or anything like that and try to create a kind of a chatbot, or maybe they can use the any of these methods using code like Python, or maybe using a Amazon Lex AWS platform. So let's see that. So how do you build a chatbot? Okay. So in the past few years, chatbots in Python have become very popular in both business and in the IT industry, any business sectors, especially in IT and non-IT sectors. So these are called intelligent bots because they adapt at imitating natural human language, NLP, and conversing just like human beings. So the company across various industry sectors are adopting and using chatbots. It can be the e-commerce company to healthcare institutions, or maybe it's a bank, or it is a educational institutes, or it may be a training institute. Any kind of a companies are trying to use chatbots to converse or engage their customers. So everyone seemed to leverage this tool to try for business benefit. So now we are going to understand how chatbot is created using Python. So the first thing which you need to know about is the chatbot library. I don't know whether you have learned this till now or not. I will assume that you have learned. If you have not learned, you still have time. Maybe your trainer can focus on this and train you on this. So chatbot Python is the, just a minute. Okay, so what happens? The chatbot is a Python library which is designed to deliver automated response to a user input. So whatever a user is input, it will give you automated response. So it's a library of those commands and tools. So it makes use of what? It has a combination of machine learning algorithm. It combined that to generate many different types of response for the user input. So the chatbot basically allowed developer to build chatbots using Python that can converse with human and deliver a relevant response. Not just that, the machine learning algorithm helped the bot to improve its performance with experience. That means whatever you answer, you're feeding, ultimately you have to understand what kind of questions can come. And you give some sample questions and sample answer. And train the AI, the chatbot AI model. And from there, till now, we've spoken a lot about that. So whatever data you're providing, the quality, the quantity of the data, that is important here. So what kind of questions as a database you're providing and what response you're providing, that will be the sample for training the AI model. And then delivering the appropriate and relevant response from the experience. Also, it learns. So chatbot is a Python library, which I said, that makes it easy to generate automated response to a user input. So anybody asking question, for example, you made a time clock, a chatbot to tell time. So you say, okay, hi, something, Alexa, okay, tell me the time. And Alexa, find out the time. Okay, tell me the temperature, time and temperature chatbot, for example. So chatbot uses a selection of machine learning algorithm to produce, as said, various kinds of response, and which helps the developer to create chatbot and automate conversion with the user. So there are a lot of steps which I have listed. The first step is preparing the dependencies. Okay. Now the first step is in the creating of chatbot in Python with the chatbot library is to install the library in your system. Okay. So it is best if you create and use a new Python virtual environment for the installation. If you have, you can also install chatbot latest development version directly. You can take it from GitHub. It is there. Okay. If you want, I can. Okay. What I'll do is I'll just put up the GitHub link in the chat box so you can use that. Okay. So link is being posted. So in this particular link, if you can go, you can just download the Chatterbox latest version, okay, from GitHub, okay. So it is there. And then once you install the Chatterbox, the latest version, you can give this command and you can do this. So then you have to, the second step is you have to import the class. Importing the class is the second step in Python chatbot creation. What you need to do is you have to import two kinds of class. One is chatbot from Chatterbot. Okay. So you can do that. And the list trainer. The list trainer from chatbot.trainer. Okay. So you can do that, do this. You can execute the following that command which is shown in the slide. Okay. And then the third one is to create and now train the chatbot. This is the third step in creating the chatbot in Python. The chatbot you're creating will be an instance in the class chatbot. Okay. After creating a new chatbot instance, just like EC2, how you create instance here also, you people understand, because I'm not going to elaborate on this. Your trainer knows about it, and you also have learned now this much, you know that how to, what I'm talking about. So considering the level of training you might have had till now, I am, telling you all these terms. So after creating a new chatbot instance, you can train the bot to improve on its performance. Training ensure that the bot has enough knowledge to give a specific response by the user for specific input or specific question you say. So you have to execute these commands which is written. So you will get all these commands online. So there is nothing new I am doing it. Okay. So I'm just showing you certain kinds of things. So you have to provide a list of response. You can do it by specifying the list of string that can be later used to train your Python chatbot to find the best match for each query. For example, of each response, you can train your chatbot using Python to run. You can create and train the bot by writing an instance of list trainer and supplying it with a list of string. Okay. Now, I can also provide you from where I have learned this. So I'm going to provide you, this is a nice link on upgrade.com. This will be available. So you can go to this and you can take a help from here. Okay. So you can see this is the kind of a list trainer and the responses which I have provided, like if the user input is high, how do you do, how are you, and I am cool, you know, the answer to those responses, fine, you, and all these questions and answers, always cool. So what can be the different kinds of answer for question like, hi, how do you do, how are you? So if these two questions are similar, so I'm cool, it can be the answer, fine, you. You can have different kinds of list of responses, you know, glad to hear that. Then I feel awesome, all those kinds of response you can put into your list trainer. Okay. Now the fourth step, after you have trained and list the informs and all, the fourth is communicate with the Python chatbot. Now to interact with the Python chatbot, you can use .get response function. Okay, which is this, like, hi, how do you do? So you know this what I'm talking about. This is how it looks like while you're communicating. So however, it is essential that you should understand that chatbot using Python might know how to answer all your questions. So you have to build that. Since it is a knowledge and training which is very limited, you have to give a time, provide more training data to train it further. It's not one-time efforts, right? Now, the last fifth step is basically train your Python chatbot with corpus of data. As I said, for everything, data is essential. AI can't work without data. And the kind of data you provide will create a difference. So the last step is how to make a chatbot in Python. For training your Python chatbot, even further, you can use an existing corpus of data. Okay. So you can see here. So you can use a corpus trainer, whatever it is there, you can choose that. All these I've taken it from the site which I have shown you. So from that side, you will get all these kinds. So no need to worry. So this was about Python. One particular, example I have shown you that how using Python, you can do it. Now, the next one, which I want to tell you about, which is more interesting. I'll show you this, and then I will show you some of the sample, in the form of the video. I will also show you on an Amazon, web service Lex platform, how to do it. So let's understand Amazon Lex. Okay. So chatbots are supposed to be helpful. So basically, the main characteristic of chatbot is that it should have an ability to take an input, understand. Input can be taken in any form. It can be a spoken, it's like the audio, or it can be a text. And you have to build that. So the chatbot can respond to any of the orders also. Sometimes it won't respond, it will do some action for you. So like, for example, playing music or ordering pizza from the internet. Okay. So the idea is that a bot can take spoken text data and also can perform certain sorry. So basically, as I said, that intention is necessary, that what is the task which will be performed by your bot? Is it will be an entertainment? Will it be a dinner app? So what kind of chatbot? So depending on app, for example, if it is Zomato or it is Swiggy or delivery app or food delivery app, they will use a kind of a dinner app or a chatbot which talks about that. Okay. So if you have a dinner app with a bot that needs to, have a dinner app with a bot, so you need to make a bot which can understand the ordering of meal, drink, dessert, and based upon what the user has asked, it should give the answer. Okay, so that's what I told you. So now, a specific bot will gather or will need a specific kind of data. It has a different questions for each path, for different intention of the users. So you need to provide those kinds of a similar kind of a data which it can take. And also you need to have the intention. You need to know for what intention you are creating the app. In Amazon Lex or for any other cases, it should be like that. So bot are the container for rest of the setting, configuration, details, integrations. These are available. So in AWS, you have to create setting, configuration, detail, and integration for chatbots. So they are like just a project which will hold a different pieces of these kinds of elements which I told you. Okay. So the bot purpose to, so this is what I said in AWS, you have to have these elements fulfilled: setting, configuration, detail, and integration. And you need to have a bot with a purpose. It can be a single purpose, like for example, just a health app which can just tell you about your heartbeat, your something like specific thing, one single purpose. Or it can be a multiple purpose, or it can be or maybe a kind of a bot which will be a very special kind of a bot. It will just converse with you, not do a certain kind of a task. So the bot purpose may be sometime you have to make when you're making a bot. So you need to know for what purpose you're making the bot. The purpose can be ordering a food, planning a trip in the tourism website. Each area of need for that purpose is broken into something called intent. Okay. So let us say you have a bot for car care. I'm giving you one example. So let's say you're making a bot for car care. And so you may have one intent for requesting oil change. That is one intent. Okay. One set of questions which will be related, that is called intent, which will be for oil change. One set of question answers, which is a second intent. You can create multiple intent like that in car care itself, because there may be different questions related to different things in car care. So related to car oil change, you will create one intent, related questions and answers, responses for that, and that is called oil change. Then the second intent can be for new tires. Okay, so that can be a kind of a intent which you can create. One more example we can take, like say you're creating a bot for ordering food. So from various restaurants, right? So you are creating two intent here. So one is the ordering food, okay, which can order the food from the restaurants, from any of the restaurants, can be vegetarian, non-vegetarian, anything. And the dessert orders also you can make one intent where it can order only bakery and sweet dishes. Okay. So what happens is, because the restaurants which is typically for desserts, or the bakeries which are typically for ice cream, desserts, or bakery, or anything, you can put into one intent and you can answer those questions like that. Okay. Just a minute. Huh? Sorry about that. I had some important things to do. So the point is that bot can have various intent to fulfill user request related to one particular app in different area or different categories. So those different categories are, you can build an intent for every category. It's just like I told you with the example. Okay. So then the second very important thing to understand to create a chatbot is about the information needed in this instance. What kind of information are you going to create or feed into into these intents? Okay, so these are called slot in the Amazon Lex. So like it's like just like think of some missing word or phrase in a sentence. Okay, so like for example, you will fill a question like this and put in the intent in the food app. I want to order. This can be anything. If it is in the intent dessert, it should be related to maybe ice cream, cakes, sweet Indian sweets or anything. And from where? Let's say I want to order, Death by Chocolate from, corner house. So it's very specific that you want that particular sweet or dessert. So it will go to so you have to build this particular kind of a slot in dessert intent in the food app. One is a restaurant where you can order all the foods, and one is a dessert intent. So in the dessert intent, you create a slot, which is nothing but a question a user may ask. Okay. User is not asking. User is just putting. So you have created a sentence. User will not create a sentence. User will say, a Death by Chocolate, and select then you have the list of the restaurant available, and you select the restaurant, which is called the corner house. So your sentence is fulfilled. This is called slot, which is the piece of information which goes into the bot to make them understand what the user wants from where it wants. So these slots are blank that bot need to fulfill. And in its intent, like I have given you 2 intents in the previous slide. So these are the missing piece which the user will provide. This blank will be fulfilled by user. The user is not going to write the entire sentence. Just they will write the name of the dessert and the restaurant or the place from where they want to order. The slots may have different types. Types define the type of information you need to fill the slot. So this is how, for example, this is one or more from the same example which I'm giving you. The first blank is the type of the food, okay? And the second is the restaurant. And the third blank is to where to deliver it. So when you are creating a slot in the intent, you will have to create it like such, where you want to order what kind of food. So if I say, I want to order pizza from, let's say, Pizza Hut, and location where it has to be delivered, let's say it's in MG Road. So I have to write that. So these are called slot in the intent, which has to be, these blanks in the slot need to be fulfilled by the user. And these are looked upon by the bot, and then finally the action is taken. So once a blank and slot are filled, the bot has to do what it needs and can fulfill its intent. So how the intent? So when you create an intent, in the intent you create a slot. The slot is just like this, the blanks, like filling the blanks. And you have to correct it and send, because there's only one intent. The user will not ask a food app for play a music and all. So you know what kind of a request will come from the user. And that intent you have created, in that you have created a slot with a blank. So the user fulfill that slot and the action is taken by the bot. So I hope you have understood this. So now we will understand how does a Lex console website look like. How the command line interface look like, and how do you create different pieces together. As I said, there are different pieces which has to be integrated to create a bot. Like, for example, slot, intents, All those things you have to create. So intent and slot is very important here, which I gave you example what it is. So you can use AWS API to create and manage bots. There are various actions to create, manage, and delete the bot item. Once you're familiar with the concept and pieces of AWS Lexbot, which we are using as a feature. So it depends on what you're developing and what you need to be able to create bot on, so depends on that. And also you can have an integrated API, So application program interface, with suppose if you're creating a bot to a food app, you need to have an integrated API for with the Google Maps. All those kinds of things are also there in that, which can be also looked upon further. First, though, let us understand how to create a bot in this. Okay. So I recommend you to, do a kind of a elaborate tutorial and learn this, the Lex, which is important. Okay. As I said that you need to first understand in the bot creation 3 steps. One is what is the role of the bot, for what purpose you are creating it. That is the one. And second is the slot, which I showed you, the blank, and in the intents. So these 3 things are very, very important. There are other things also which are there. And again, in the Amazon Lex, you have console, CLI, and API. Okay. The Lex console is where you're going to make your bots. And it is also called the Amazon Bot Factory. Okay. So bot should be smart again, because it should be able to understand any kind of a query or any kind of a thing. So consoles, we have to go to the Amazon console to do that. So let's start with the bot, which is it's very easy and simple. That is one very good news. There's no bad news in this. Okay. So anybody who is not, taken or who are not coders, who are from non-engineering background can also do this. That's the best part of this. And you have to understand the process. You have to understand the concept, that how bot is created, for what purpose, how does it answer. All that process you need to understand. So when you are ready to create a bot, the only thing you really need is, first thing is very important, is the name of the bot. Okay. So what we can do is we can just go to the Amazon and we can type in the service Amazon Lex, or you can, this is the Amazon AWS Management Console. You can go there, you can search for Amazon Lex, or you can type it here and you can click on that. So you get a screen like this. Okay. So we will click on get started now. We can base our bot off and we can just look into some of the sample of it. I will show you some video also of how in Amazon Lex the thing is created. So let's see how a particular bot is created. When you click on this, you get a lot of options here on the top, right? Like for example, custom bot. So automatically the custom bot is selected over here. And we will create a bot. And let's say we are creating a bot, which is, we will give a name to the bot as order meal. Okay. You can give any name, like Alexa is a name of a bot. Okay. And Siri and all, like you can also give a name to your bot. Use that name because it's very important that you should have a proper name. We are going to create a bot for ordering a meal, which can be a food, which can be a drink also, it can be a dessert also. Anything which is related to food, which can be ordered by a customer. So if you just made it order food, okay, that might be misleading, because sometimes people don't understand that food also include drinks and desserts sometimes. Okay. So that's the reason. And just like that, I'm saying that it's very important that what kind of name you can pick. The second very important is the language, which normally people choose English, US, and output of voice. Very important, because chatbot is going to converse like a human being. Now, AWS has a set of inbuilt voice and the name. These can be a male voice or a female voice, you can choose. So when you choose this, here, output voice, you will get a set of names. I'm not able to show you because it's a screenshot. So let's say I had chosen Kimberly. You can choose anything and you can test. Whenever you choose something, there is a testing button which comes here. You can test the voice and you can see how it looks. So whatever voice you want to do, you can just play the voice, test the voice. Okay. And then there is something called session timeout. How long your bot will wait for interaction from the user before it gives up. So because your bot is, once it is integrated, it can't wait for infinite time. It has to have certain time fix. That's called session timeout. We'll just have to have, most probably people will keep 2 minutes. And we will allow it automatically create a, so what is the first thing is I am role. Okay. So what kind of role? So automatically create our I am role. It will allow, it will do automatically. So you don't have to worry about it. So we are going to specify that our bot is not specifically made for COPA, because that is also very understand the rules and legal implications. Okay. So COPA is Children Online Privacy Protection Act. Okay. Because that is also something very important when you're doing or creating something. You should know the rules and regulation legality of that in that particular country. Now once you have done that, all you have to, so your bot is now least created. Okay. Now it is just the name you have created. It is the least thing which you have created. On the left hand side, if you see, just a minute, I'll just show you. You can see on the top, you have several kinds of tab, editor tab. Then you have setting, you have channel, you have monitoring. Okay. So we have selected your editor, and you can see your intent is there here. And here, when you click on editor, you get a start with your bot, and then the first thing is to create intent. Okay. So now when we click on create intent, we get something like this. Okay. And we need to now define the slot type. So also there is something called error handling. Okay. You can see here error handling tab under the setting tab, and we can see the general setting tab. Okay. That we specified when we created. So we also see something called aliases. Okay. And which we'll look upon, this is little aliases are avatars and all that we can talk about later. So there are also something called channels. Okay, this is the channels. So let me show you first. Okay, so this is for intent. And in the setting tab, you have something called aliases. You can give a alias name. Okay. Then we have something called channel. Let's look into that tab. How does it work? So if you look into the channel, so for channel, it basically defines the configuration for various social media site where you want to integrate this. If you want to, like Facebook, Kick, Slack, Willow. Okay. Various kinds of things are available. You can select that. Okay. And then under the last one is called monitoring. So under the monitoring, we can see the various tables that can monitor the metric. You can go for CloudWatch to see more detail. Okay. And so there are different kinds of places for utterance. So you have to go through these kinds of a tab and understand what are the meanings. So let's start with the intent. So for the intent, again, we go back to editor, and the bot intent means the purpose. What is the intention of the bot? For what purpose you're creating the bot? That purpose need to be defined at intent. Not intents, but intent item. So you have to ask yourself, what is the purpose? In other words, what is why you are creating that? So that's called intent. So you can import variously exported intent and use some of the existing intent you have defined before. Suppose if you have already created 1 or 2 bot in Amazon Alex, and where For example, if it is related, certain things are common. You can use the same intent and import the same intent in that also, if you feel that can be useful. Okay. So we look at those. So we will just going to create a new one now. Okay. In this intent. So when we are creating a new intent, in the services, you need to bring up, on the left hand side, if you see, the intents are defined. No, if you have already the order meal and all those kinds of defined here already. So what we do is basically, I am going to create an intent in which I'm going to write the questions. So you have several things over here: intent, utterance, slot, and prompt. So I'm going to now take you through the video and show you how to create one intent and one slot. So once the intent and slot is created, your bot is ready. You have to upload certain kinds of data and then your bot is ready. So just give me a few seconds. Yes, somebody has asked that how to create a chatbot to respond in Kannada and Hindi. So when you are selecting, maybe in Amazon Alex, you may have certain kinds of, translation tools which you can integrate. Okay. Those are integrate translation where the user input in Kannada can be transferred to the machine in the form of English. So those can be integrated. Certain functions can be integrated there. Okay. Just give me a few seconds. I'll just show you. Let me see if the website works. So I'm going to take you through some tutorial videos and I'll show you how to create intent. Okay, just give me a few seconds. Share the screen. Okay, so let's see how intent is created. Okay, so we'll go through this thing. So as I said that you can see all these kinds of things over there, and we are creating a bot for the purpose of ordering meal. Okay, and so how do we create a kind of intent, and for what is the purpose? That is called the intent, which I've already told you. So let us go through the process of creating. As I said, you can import also if you have any kind of intent, or if you have already created an intent which can be used, you can do that. So now you can see here in Amazon. So it's gone to Lex. If you have already created an intent, see, this is what we have already created. So this is going to click on that and then click on the intent you have bought, which you have already named it as order mail. And now we have the editor tab again, which is selected. We have no intent, no slot type here. Okay. So error handling also, we can see the phrases which is repeated when the bot doesn't understand something, you can feed into that. Let's say you go into the order mail bot and you ask to get an oil change. So can it do that? It will say sorry. So you can, and it hang up. So you could not understand something, you can say goodbye, you can say sorry. Those are called error handling phrases. Okay. So we are going to create an intent for the by clicking on this plus sign. Then when create the intent, you can import also. You can search for existing intent. We don't have any defined, it goes. So you can build intent from Amazon. You can cancel, you can create a loop of it. There are certain inbuilt intent which are there. You can use for that. You need to have a knowledge about that. Let's start with creating a new intent and giving it a name. So we have given a name. We will give a name now, order food. Order meal is the bot name. Under that, we create an intent called order food. So we will click on add. Now we can click on our intent. We see the definition of it. Okay, nearly not much is there. Okay. So now we have a whole process to define that order food for us. Okay, so we have all these small pieces of information we need to configure, which are going to be added for the purpose of creating a one particular intent in the bot. So we will look from top down to the next. Okay, so just give me a few seconds again. Okay. Now let's see. We'll start. So the first thing your bot need to know is what is the definition of the intent, what the intent will do, how to use this intent. So user, how does it know that the user will use this intent or not? That is also one thing which you should know. So defining the intent itself is a very important thing which you have to understand. Okay. So for example, if they say, I want to order a food, then the bot knows to use this intent. Okay. So it's very important, students, it's very important that it's not creating a proper can be used by the user. Okay. So that's very important part over here. So I'll just repeat it here. So if the user is saying, I want to order a meal, then the bot need to know that they have to use the order food intent, not the order dessert intent. So in the utterance of, just give me a few seconds, I'm getting one more call. tell me, you can see the screen? No? Okay. Just give me a second. So sorry, I'm muted. I'm so sorry, my network is not good. I'm connected through my hotspot, which is going on and off. So I'll not be able to show you the video format, because as soon as I'm connecting to that, it is going off. So what I'm trying to tell you is that you can go to the Lex and follow the step of creating a bot. Under that, you can create 2-3 intents. For example, if you're creating a bot for food ordering, you can create two intent into that. One is called order food, other is called order dessert. In the intent, again, you have to create utterance. And in the utterance, you have to create slots, like how the questions will be asked, what will be the filling in the blanks. These are very, very simple process. When you go through the step, you will understand. And ultimately, when you have created everything, the last step will be to publish your bot. When you are publishing, you are testing your bot, and you can give an input, and you can get the bot functioning. Okay. So it's not happening now. And I have only limited 20 minutes of time left. Let me see if it can happen. I will just try one more time. I will just switch off my video. Okay. Can you see the screen, students?
It was visible.
It's not visible.
Visible, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So let's try with this. If it works, the net is not good. So I was telling that when you go to the intent, and I have created an intent here, you can see which is called order food. Under order meal, bot name is order meal. And under order meal, if you can see, I created 2 intent I will create. One is order food and one is order dessert. So let's see the order food. So when we are on this, it's basically asking us for creating utterance. Utterance may be the kind of input the students may, the user may give, or the kind of question. So you need to define it, and the best possible match will be found by the bot, and it will try to. So it will look into the various kinds of variation in that utterance. And if you want, you can also create. See, the thing is, you can click on this plus sign, and you can create a multiple variation for bot to understand different kinds of input. For example, if somebody says, I want dinner, order dinner, or can you please tell me which is the best place for dinner? You can add those kinds of utterance, which is the user input. And bot will try to find out the best match with the utterance which you have created, and try to answer the questions. So this is the one thing which you can have variation in the utterance. Okay. And then you can have these utterance work. And wherever there is a user input, the user, whatever utterance you have created, maximum number of utterance if you have created with variation, it will try to find out. So I'm going to just create one kind of a utterance now here for the sample purpose. So we are going to just write, I need food. Let's say a user is commonly asking this kind of a query. And I'm not going to put any kind of a punctuation, because sometimes it may not match. Punctuation may create a problem. So I leave it just like that. And it's not even the case sensitive, because if it is a text input, then sometime it may look for exact match. You can also add, like I'm going to add various variation, like feed me, where's the dinner? I'm not adding the question mark here, or maybe I will add one more. I want to order dinner. Okay. So like this, you can keep on adding various variation in this. And these variation can be reconciled when the bot want to answer. So whatever is the sequence, it means the same thing. So I need dinner, I want to feed me, whatever the way the user is giving a kind of a input, that can be understand if you have a good variation in that. Okay. So this variation can allow the bot to figure what is a user request. Okay. So it's a great thing to do, that you can create various kinds of utterance or various kinds of input. So which is called the utterance, that what is a possible kind of a query which will come. It can be typed, it can be spoken. So this is one. So we have just put it and we created. We can also add another instance or another intent very similar to the first one which I have told you. So you can go here on the plus sign, again click on create intent, and I'll create an intent for order dessert. Order food will order only food. So order dessert, again I'm creating a kind of an intent for that. And then we will add that under the order meal. So you can see that under the order meal robot, 2 intent is added now. Okay. And these, then I will have an utterance variation in that. Like, for example, I want dessert. I have a sweet tooth. Can you suggest a best one? Whatever variation you want to add, you have to think from the user perspective, that what are the different kinds of request in the different kinds of sentence, on different kind of thing may come. Best desserts, best ice creams. Like this, you can keep on n number of kickoff, utterance, or you can say a kind of a thing. So the bot will, if we have a various kinds of variation, the bot will have the ability to understand different kinds of query and question, and it will kick off the order food. Now the thing is also created. Okay, so we have created all these kinds of intent. Now next thing is we want to now test this. So I'm going to now take you through the other video which will show you how to test this. So just a minute. Okay. It was going to take some time to upload the video because the net is very strong, very bad here. Okay. You can see the screen. The screen is seen. There's nothing on the screen now. So now we have defined the intent. We will now try to test it. Okay. So that is our, but our utterance also, we have given certain variation in both the intent. So let's see if we can test it and we can see how it works. Okay. So the first thing we have to do now is that just click on build, tab build. Okay. And build your bot. And then click on build. And once it is ready, then it will tell us that it is, when it is ready, it will say, okay, now it is ready, you can test it. And be able to type in the utterance, like the user request. So, and we will type for various kinds of variations also, which can be used for testing the bot. Okay. You can use even the spoken word also, that also it will take. Okay. Like audio, microphone and all. So test chatbot area. This is the area, test chatbot. Now you can type your utterance in here and tap the microphone. You can even use a microphone over here. You can see that and test it audibly. You can just order build. See, you can see that it is done building. Let's test it with something. Okay. Let's see how does it work. Like simple things like feed me. Okay. So we are typing that in the utterance. Now notice you say the intent order food is ready for fulfillment. Okay. So the testing can be done either by typing it, or what you can do is you can just speak also. So we have written here, feed me. And it is giving me a kind of a thing which says intent order food. Okay. That means it has chosen the intent. We had two intent build, order food and order dessert. So it has understood, because in order food, if you remember, we have feeded one utterance called feed me. So it will basically understand the intent and run that intent for me. Okay, so let's see how does it work. Okay, so intent order food is ready for fulfillment, but nothing here to do it, because you have just created a kind of a thing to make understand that what is a user request and which intent has to be used. But there's no data which is built. We can see the response or any detail, nothing. Okay, so we just have to now look at the summary. Okay, we click on the summary to inspect the response or maybe the detail. Okay, so if you can see, this is JSON, intent name order food, which is there. You can see it is built already there. The coding also, you can see that it is there. Nothing as a response is feeded till now in this. Okay, just the utterance and the query is feeded. So we have not done any kind of a response setting. We just want to test whether it is able to understand the intent or not. Like we again ordered, I want dessert. And it understood that intent order dessert should be taken into consideration. So we are just trying some of the variation of our utterance or user input in the intent. So feed me dinner, in the order food, it will take, like, for example, and when you have taken a dessert related kind of a thing, it will do. Or I want some sweet, or any kind of utterance or any kind of a user. So we are just checking whether the bot is able to create some kind of a response or not. Okay. So this is how the bot is going to, you have tested. So now, once you have tested the bot, now what we are going to do is we will just go back again to fulfill certain kinds of response and see how it works. Okay. So let's see. So this is all tested well. That is going to a proper intent. Now we'll go to the order dessert. Okay. And initially see if I have given the intent which is already, utterance, something which is already there, like I want something sweet or something like that. So it is going to the proper intent. But what if I type something which is not feeded, like for example, I've not feeded, I need sugar. Okay, and if I type that, so is it still going to the particular order for? So what it is doing, it's going to order food. Okay, which is not correct, because it is not understanding the sugar is belonging to the sweet or something. But if I write something like I need something sweet, again it is going to the order food. It should go to dessert. So we have to first, when we are creating a chatbot, students, we have to first create the intent and try to understand the various kinds of input and how the intent can be used with that input and test it. Once that is perfect, then we can go ahead with the responses. So we need to find out the match. Okay. So if we have written what is for the dinner, it is going perfectly there. But if you're writing what is for the dessert, it is going. But if you are typing something like sweet and dessert, and it's not going perfectly to the perfect intent. Okay. So where can we add all kind of questions which a user can add? It's not possible, but we can add certain kinds of a data. As I showed you already also in another kind of a session, that the better data you added, better is the possibility of one particular application to, which is basically based on AI to, help you. So like I'm just adding on intent, because I'm trying to test intent here. You can see that you can do it both side by side. I can test the intent, and if I see it is not coming to certain kind of a proper utterance is not going to a proper intent, then I may keep on adding those variations. So this is how the first step is very essential. That when you are building a bot, when you are making a bot, create important in the thing. And whatever you're creating, you can just see just on what is the coding and all. You can just go to detail and you can see, you can try that out if you know how to do it. Okay. So this is very important. Let me see the time. So I have 6 minutes left. Let me see if I can go to the next one and show you the bot which is already published or how to create the response. Just give me a few seconds. Okay, one more thing I will just show you, which is slot. After intent, the next thing is about slot. Okay. So how do you create a slot that I will take? If our time permits, I'll go to the response also. Otherwise, you can, if intent and slot, you can create the answer also. Okay? So just play the video. Can you all see the screen? Yes, somebody can tell me. Screen is visible. Okay, fine. So in the editor tab itself, we have something called slot. So after we have created intent, tested the intent with utterance or the questions, the user input and all, we are satisfied with that. We go ahead with the creating a slot. Okay. So slots I have suggested, shown you that these are the blank in the sentences, which the bot will try to complete. Okay. So slot will try to gather all kind of information based on the questions or the query by the user. So these are the missing pieces of information, which can be anything like place, date, item, locations, anything. So that you have to create. So whatever is in your slot, you will gather, the bot will try to gather that. It can be anything, whatever. So whatever, so you have to very much clarify that what kind of information do you want from the user. Okay. So what kind of data which is gathered from the user to specify and to fill that. So Amazon may provide many ways to build in the slot type. So how do you do it? You can have various kinds of inbuilt things like country, like even we are doing for deserts. So it may depend on you that what kind of slots you want. So there are developer guide also, which are available in Amazon website, where you can go and you can, click on built-in intent, slot type. All these you can just check in and you will get a lot of help from here, that how do you create a slot for asking for certain kind, like for example email addresses. Some chatbots ask for your email address to create a database. Sometimes they ask for your name and all those kinds. So how do you do that, if you want that particular information to piece of information to gather? So how do you do that? Those kinds of tools are already there. You can just integrate by going to that. Okay. And it will be available. So timing is also available if you want a timing slot or something, like somebody booking a particular client of a slot for the services, that also you can have that. So all those kind of thing is there for a developer. A developer can go to this. They can also go to slot type references, and you can check that you have various kinds of slot type, a date in the 4-digit number, or you can have suppose if you're clicking on a date for a 4 digit, it will tell you that what kind of format you want, what type of information will it take from from the user, in which format. You can go ahead and you can define that, and you can take that which is built into Amazon Alex directly. You don't have to do anything for that. But you need to have an understanding of it, because if you don't understand what kind of input you want and what kind of purpose your slot is going to, what kind of data your or information a slot is going to accept in which format, then it is not going to help you further. Okay. So I'm going to stop it here. So if you see in Amazon, the Lex is very simple, very simple. You can just have to have the understanding of creating the bot, the intent, types of intent you need to know, test the intent, create slots to gather information, and then create response. 3 steps: create intents, create slots, create response. All these are well taught in Amazon Lex. You might have seen. You can go ahead and take a help from the Amazon. Every slot, whenever you go to slot, is a tutorial. If you go to creating the response, there is a tutorial for that. So you understand and you go ahead and do it. So the students, the last step which I want you people to do is that you have to, I will send this to you. So the assignment has 3 parts. One for the students who are doing artificial intelligence with Python. They have to create a chatbot using Python. And I'm going to send a file to Harinakshi or Shweta ma'am. They're going to share it with you. And I'm going to take this, the date is most of the time, more, it's fixed. Like I will be taking on 2nd June. Okay. So I want you all to prepare this. This is a very simple assignment. So for chatbot using Python, I will give you a GitHub, repository, what you called a link, which you can take for the help. But I would like you to, and I will also give you a file where if one team is building a chatbot for ordering food, the other team should build for something else. The purpose of the chatbot should be different. Okay. Then this team who are the students who are learning web development, they can also create a basic chatbot using HTML, CSS, or JavaScript. For that also, I've given a link. How to create a chatbot. So the second part of the second group who can do that. The third group can use, who are using cloud computing or AWS, who are studying, students who are studying, use Amazon Lex and create this particular chatbot. So 3 ways to create chatbot. One is using Python. The students who are learning that can do that. Students who are learning web development, you will create a chatbot using HTML, CSS, or JavaScript, anything. Students who are learning AWS will develop using Amazon Lex. And for cybersecurity, people, ERP, I can't give anything now. And for cybersecurity, I will give you one particular project. I will send it to you. It will reach to you by tomorrow in your mail. I'm very serious about this till now, and I can also ask Shweta ma'am and Harinakshi ma'am to give me a time when you all are available, but not in the evening. Most probably, I may do it on Saturdays or Sunday. So I may ask them to provide me a slot on Sunday, basically, to do this testing and daytime and all, so that all of you are available and we do this evaluation. Any question, students? Anything you want to ask?
This Sunday you want timing, madam?
Sorry?
This Sunday you want time? Coming Sunday? Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Or next Sunday you are asking for? Hello?
Not coming Sunday. 15 days I'm giving them. Yeah, I'm giving them 15 days, Shweta ma'am, Harinakshi ma'am, 15 days time to do this.
Okay.
Okay. I will send it to you right now in the mail.
Okay.
And this will be the last evaluation from my side, or last assignment from my side. Okay. And center wise, as I said, that every center, if whatever courses the students might have taken, if they've taken AWS, AI, and cloud computing, web development, then 3 should come from their side. If 3 is coming, that's good. Okay. Okay, fine.
Thank you, madam.
Then thank you. Have a nice weekend to all of you. Bye.
Thank you, madam.